Welcome to Local Hogwash. We're so glad you're here.
I'm your host, Kristy Bach.
And am I a host?
Yes.
Or co-host?
What difference does it make?
And I'm your other host, Michelle Cash.
Fun fact, it has been 6 months since we started Local Hogwash. It's actually 6 months, like a couple weeks ago, but we got sidetracked.
And there were people who thought we wouldn't make it 6 days.
Who were those people?
6 shows.
I went back through and watched, like, the first 15 episodes. First of all,
They were amazing.
we're funny. And because I wanted to pick out parts, but the problem is I picked out too many. So I was trying to come up with
And my
10
problem is I picked out the parts that you picked out.
that you didn't send me.
Because I picked out the same ones.
So, my goal was to try to find, 10 of our funnier moments. Like, to me, the absolute funniest moment on Local Hogwash was when Sloan said, snitches get stitches and wind up in ditches. That was so memorable
It
to
really
me.
was.
But we've had other ones, and like the whole when I thought I might have insinuated that you couldn't read.
That was a very memorable moment. Yes. Was.
And then like the next week your daughter was like, and you said my mom couldn't read. I'm like, no, I didn't. Yeah. So my son works at Laughing Owl, as you know.
Yeah.
And there's a gentleman who comes in, he said with some regularity, so I don't know how often that is. And he's talking to him.
Yep.
Come to find out, he's the owner of Social House. So he gave Dean his name and number and told me he'd be happy to come on as a guest.
Take that off the record.
And don't forget, BJ said we could use the equipment.
We love off the record.
We love off the record.
You know what else is funny? I don't think I told you this. May have. I had an issue with my pants yesterday. Did I tell you about that?
No.
Oh, let me tell you. Had an issue with my pants yesterday. They fit okay, but I just felt like I never got them all the way up. So when I finished my breakfast, I was like, I talked to the lady that would sit beside me. I was like, Linda, I just don't, something is not right with these pants. I said,
Oh, you did tell me.
I said, I don't buy low-rise pants anymore because I've aged out of low-rise pants. I said, but something's just not right. So I stood up and I tugged him one more time and it hit me. And I said to myself, Self, these might not be your pants.
Whose were they?
They were Reese's pants. They were very stretchy.
Y'all remember Reese? She sat right here. She
Yeah.
was very little.
But thankfully, I mean, I'm not wear them again. But I wore them yesterday. So it's a win for me.
So, talked to a lot of people, read quite a few books, and Hades is a little bit more than I can control. He got out, took me over an hour to find him, got out again, got out again, got out again.
I could hear that story over and over and over and
No, I
never
was
get tired
dead.
of it.
I was so dead. So I got him a training collar. It has the prongs that go here, and then it has these little metal things that go here.
Mm-hmm.
It has different settings, beep settings, like how loud you want the beep or how obnoxious you want it.
Mm-hmm.
Then it has vibrating sections, same thing, the length of the vibration, how annoying you want the vibration to be.
Mm-hmm.
It does have shock settings. So, of course, the first thing I do,
Please, oh
yes,
my God, please tell me you did not do
I
it to
turned
yourself.
it all the way up
Kristy, no.
and stuck it on my hand. And then pressed the button. So,
And then
hey.
what happened? Did you pee?
No, but it made my nose run and it made my eyes tear up. It didn't hurt. Hurt is not the right word. But I wasn't going to put it on the dog if I didn't know what it did. I'm not going to hurt my dog. I love my dog.
I wouldn't do it on purpose. I did it accidentally, but not on purpose.
Well, it has these little silicone covers for the prongs.
Take them things off.
No.
Why?
Because it was enough. When I say it made my it made snot run from my nose. So then I put it on the dog, and at first, if you know me at all, for 3 days, I pressed the beat button. Didn't get anywhere, still getting mad, and then my neighbor has a 2-year-old. Cutest little thing in a diaper I ever saw in my whole entire life. She is a doll baby.
I'm going to discuss that with you.
Okay.
At this point in time, Cadence is the cutest thing in a diaper.
Isn't even 1. I said 2-year-old.
Well, she's the cutest thing in a diaper.
I said cutest 2-year-old.
Reverse that, Danny, and let's see. I need some accuracy and clarity.
So then my neighbor has a 2-year-old. Cutest little thing in a diaper I ever saw in my whole entire life. Okay, go ahead. She is still the cutest 2-year-old running around in a diaper that I've ever seen. She's hilarious. And she always says, bad dog, bad dog, bad dog, every time Hayden comes out. Yes.
No.
Yes, because he barks at her. And all she wants to do is pet him.
She just wants to love on him.
And he's going crazy, like growling and just barking and being obnoxious. So I meant to hit the vibration. I truly, truly did.
Here we go.
All of a sudden, I hit the shock thing, and my dog acted like he done fell out and died. He dropped to the ground, rolled around, stuck his belly up and his legs up, and just stayed there for a second. I thought, oh my God, I killed the dog. So I run off the porch, run down the steps, run over to the dog, and I'm like, oh my God, are you okay? And he gets up and licks my face.
So the fair is October 5th through the 9th. It's a little bit shorter than I think it maybe typically is, but they're really packing a punch.
Do you think COVID's going to impact those numbers?
Honestly, no.
Do you think it should?
I know you're not going to believe my answer. Do I think it should? Yes.
I'm really concerned about quite a few things right now. Number one being Lenoir, UNC Lenoir Healthcare puts out their COVID numbers weekly, and they just released one today. When I spoke to Beverly Jenkins on August 11th, the highest amount of people that were ever in Lenoir at one time last year was like 36 people. Mm-hmm. Well, today we have 46. So that's a lot. That's a lot for our hospital.
It really is.
And so my concern is that either pick one, and I know I say this, it's none of my business to tell anybody else how to live, and I'm not trying to, but I'm just going to share my opinion because it's my show. Mm-hmm. Is this: get vaccinated or stay home. If you're vaccinated, go to the fair. Go do all the fun things. Go to Jeep Fair. Go to the Lenoir County Fair. Go do all the fun things you want in life. But if you're not vaccinated, stay home.
October 23rd is the Extreme Dirt Track Racing. And
which Michelle can't go to.
I ain't going to be here.
I know.
And that's when the scare people come out.
Yes.
The scary people.
But where are you going to be?
I'm going to be in Washington, D.C.
So
unless COVID
shuts down. So my rule of thumb for Washington, D.C. has kind of reached this point. If the Smithsonian's go virtual, I'm not going. Like, I'm just flat out going to postpone the trip until I can go. There's the monuments are cool. Seeing the stuff is cool, but that's not why I want to go.
I really do want to go to the Smithsonian.
Yeah, that's the whole reason. Like, I want to go to as many of them as we can go to.
Yeah. All the museums.
Yes. Like I said, statues and buildings are cool.
I've already prepared myself that I'm going to cry.
I'm fairly certain I will cry in the Holocaust Museum. And I have such a weird outlook on that because it's not hard for a civilization to lose its morality.
Nope.
And that's what happened in Germany and areas of Poland, and the everyday yous and me's of the world lost their humanity. You can blame it all on Hitler and the Nazi regime, but at the end of the day, hundreds controlled millions.
And that's sad.
Yeah, it absolutely. It's the same reason why I've never understood. Take Afghanistan right now. Afghanistan is now under the regime of the Taliban, and the women who have spent the last 20 years with, I don't want to say freedoms, but at least autonomy. Mm-hmm. So they're protesting. Well, on the first night of the protests, it was met with extreme prejudice. The militias came out and the protest ended, and you can take that any way you want to take it because that's what happened. In my brain, if one man is holding one gun, 11 women can take him. You're going to lose 10, but 11 women can.
Yeah.
So for people to be forced into a sense of no freedom, no ability to think or choose or act for themselves because someone told them so.
A dictatorship.
Yeah, you take out the dictator. But I understand that I am making this so simplistic that it is really not fair to assume that 11 women are going to band together and 10 are going to choose to sacrifice themselves. But I would. Like, if somebody came here and tried to say that I couldn't drive, had to cover my whole body, couldn't work anymore, definitely couldn't write the news, I would be that sacrificial lamb to help the other people get to freedom because that is not acceptable.
It's not.
So we just need to find 10 more people like me, and we've got a chance.
What are you saying, Kristy?
Would you be a sacrificial lamb?
I don't know.
I don't think you would.
I talk a great game.
And that's it. Like,
But really, I'm a weenie.
but would you let yourself be subjugated to where you had to cover your whole body, weren't allowed to drive, weren't allowed to go anywhere, could do nothing but raise kids and clean your house? Like, how long would you truly last?
I wouldn't last long.
So I'm just.
Maybe I would be one of those women. I mean, I will talk back.
To a gun?
Probably not.
See, that's
To a person, yes.
So I think, but that's what their reality is. If there's a man standing in front of you with an AK-47, I'm saying my guns wrong.
I'm a mute.
I'm not. I'm gonna say, what's the worst thing you're gonna do? Shoot me?
Yes.
Go
It
ahead.
hurts.
So does living like that. I would rather just be shot and stand for that moment than to live as a shadow of what I once knew. It's like, it's not all they ever knew. For the last 20 years, they've had freedom.
You're really making me question myself here.
Don't worry. It just means I die first in our novel. But you'll live. You're
If
the
you
final
go
girl.
first, who's going to lead me?
You're the final girl. You got to live.
No. This is not the Hunger Games. I'm not that girl with the bow.
So Hunter and I talked about the same thing. And Hunter was like, they're going to shoot me too then. And so we called Taylor, my other daughter. We put the exact position. Someone standing in front of you with a gun saying that you can no longer.
She would shave her head and pretend to be a boy.
She would. She said, first I'm going to grab that gun, shove it up his bleep, and then go do what I wanted to do. So my girls are like, her. And I'm just going to stand there. I'm like, okay, you can shoot me because I'm not doing it.
And I'll be under the table hiding. Everybody plays a role.
So if you'd like to be a guest on our show or interact with us in any way, you can find us on Facebook at Local Hogwash or on website www.localhogwash.com. You can find us on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok, although we're not actually on any of those. We just have sites.
However, we are going to take just a minute to thank some very special people in our lives.
We are. I'm going to start today by thanking Danny, who had great hair today.
Even though he said, it looks like this every day.
It doesn't.
It was great hair.
It was a good hair day.
It was good hair.
I'm also going to thank Brandon Potter for making our logo and just being an amazing human.
Yes. Last but not least, the boss man.
It's your turn. We were going back and forth.
Oh, I'm sorry. BJ Murphy.
Actually, we didn't go back and forth. I just
The
said
one
it
and
wrong.
only. BJ Murphy. So thankful.
So yes, I mean, not only is BJ very cool to work with, he's also a genuine good soul, and I love that about him. But I do have to share a funny. The school called, and it was for about one of his children.
Mm-hmm.
And my first thought was, that youngin' got in trouble. But it was not that.
No.
I was hoping it wasn't anything to do with COVID, so I was thinking of the first thing that I could think of.
Oh. Dang it.
And his kids are so sweet, they would never
really
get in
are.
trouble.
Mm-hmm. Love it.
All right. So we will see you guys same time, same place next week.
Bye-bye.